Brian here with Brian Imaging. We're back again with another episode of Face to Face. This time we'll be starring my two friends, Vicarious Cosplay and Khal of Atlantis. They're together, so I did a shoot with them together, so I thought I'd do the episode together, so they're both side by side, so think of it as a dual face-to-face interview. So without further ado, check it out, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Pepe, Khal of Atlantis on Instagram.
I'm Victoria, and my Instagram handle is Vicarious Cosplay.
Roughly, I would say about 7 years for me. More like a 4 actually on point, because when I started about 7 years ago, it was just kind of like a random hobby. My first cosplay was Bird in the Head, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of nice, just dressing out for Halloween parties. I had a friend of mine that used to throw Halloween parties. That was like kind of the first time that I cosplayed, pretty much. But yeah, I've been doing this since then.
I've been cosplaying since 2017, so 3 years. I'm very new, and I've been pretty consistent for the last 3 years, so it's because of him. Okay, so I used to work for SeaWorld, and I guess MegaCon would happen all the time. This was back in 2008, and I would see all these people walking by in costumes. I was like, oh, that's great. And for Halloween, I would always pick hard characters to cosplay. I didn't want anything to buy out of the store, so I would make it. And 2017, I just decided because of my job, I needed to stress relieve, and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna just dive in and be a little nerdy. And that's when I took off, and I absolutely love MegaCon and the environment and people, and I just been addicted ever since.
When I started, it was one friend of mine was doing Halloween parties every year, and it was everybody would go out all out. And then that's when I started hearing about cons. There was a guy in particular who was like, oh yeah, there's MegaCon, blah, blah, blah. And I was living in Sarasota by then, so I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. So I was looking at pictures, like, oh man, these costumes are cool. And from there, I was like, okay, let me do something. It was Turn Ahead, my first one, and it was terrible. It was terrible. It was absolutely a mess. But after that, I was just like, okay, cool. And then I started evolving and then I went all out a couple of years after that. And Predator was like my first full-on costume, which was awesome.
That's a hard one.
Oh shit.
My favorite. Honestly, Ahsoka has been my favorite. It's the Rebels one that I've done. This is my new one that I just debuted today. But I just absolutely love like how she is, and I kind of just vibe with her essential character and her values and core ways. I'm most known for as Mara because of this guy right here. So, but yeah, Ahsoka's been my all-time favorite.
For me, it's really tough. I've been doing a lot of characters. Probably one of my favorites that I've done, and I only did it a handful of times, has been Raiden from Metal Gear Rising. I kind of sort of identify with that character a lot. Unfortunately, I can't cosplay anymore because I have the big old hairy face now. But yeah, definitely has been one of my favorite characters. I might just do a leap, just jump on and actually shake my mustache so I can actually do it for one last time. And that's happened. Yeah, that's happened. But that's definitely has been one of my favorite characters from everything I cosplayed before.
I do have to say you look badass in it. When I saw it, I didn't think it was him, honestly. So I was like, oof.
Okay, I'll go with that one first. It will be Raiden, and then it's a tough one because I have the Raiden, I have my Predator, and then my Aquaman movie version. Definitely those are one of my favorites, and definitely time consuming for sure. But it's a tough one. I would say that those three, they're pretty much share the same equal love, I guess.
My favorite is the royal gown that Mara wears. Honestly, I had zero reference other than what I remember on screen because I started the build immediately after the movie released, and it's literally on screen for like 2 minutes. But just going ahead and learning how to, you know, do different methods with fabrics to get that like sway jellyfish-like look, adding lights to it. Doing jewel work, which that was a whole nother thing. Beading is not a friend. Just saying, if anybody ever wants to cosplay and add beading to their stuff, that's commitment. And then making the jellyfish themselves, and I honestly am super proud. And the wig, from head to toe, that is me 100%, and I absolutely love it. Mara. That's just what I've been known for is Mara. Ahsoka's coming up a hot second. And then I would say Yennefer from The Witcher, which is something I want to revisit and probably break out again.
Yeah, mine was an Aquaman as well because we've been doing like a lot of cherry work, especially in the past. So that's mainly what we were wearing for the longest time. So yeah, definitely Aquaman. I haven't worn Predator in a long time, so I would say yeah, it will be either Aquaman and that's it. That's really the one I've been wearing the most. Then everything else I've been pulling every now and then for a con or a shoot, but that's pretty much it. It depends. At least for me, it's just the building process. Now that I've been starting with 3D printing, obviously, so it just varies depending on the build, or you know, if I decide to do more fabric, or it just depends. Good thing that she helps me with anything that is fabric process because I'm terrible at sewing. I'm learning though. I'm learning. She's a good teacher.
He is.
She's a good teacher. So anything 3D printing wise, it could take me about 2 weeks printing wise, and then post-processing painting. Like my Rex, for example, I knocked that out in about 2 weeks. But we can have maybe working time because I stop every now and then just to give them a break, give the machines a break. So that's pretty much it. It just varies depending on the build. So
for me, everyone kind of knows that I just like hit out costumes for some reason. I like fastly make it. Sorry, I'm falling apart. I've worn this long enough today, but I like to do a lot of research, kind of get an idea and divulge at least a day of researching, getting photos and references. Probably most people know me to do a turnaround time of 2 weeks. And that's from start to finish, and that is with researching and actually making it. Like my Ahsoka today is 2 weeks done. So pretty proud, but obviously wearing it and stuff, you kind of learn, oh, you need to refix this and stuff. So it's always a constant fixing your stuff.
Upgrading, yep.
His Aquaman. Okay, don't let him lie. His very first one, because I think you're on version 3 now.
Yeah,
his very first one, unfortunately, a sewer had fallen out, couldn't do his suit, so I took on his task. And man, let me talk about when you're trying to deal with somebody else's opinions and what they see. It can really stress you out. I have a photo that I'm literally almost pulling my hair out because of how stressful it was. But that scale work, the fabric and stuff that we chose, that was really difficult. It was vinyl, so that gives no stretch.
Yeah, no stress, no shape. So
yeah,
we have to like figure out ways to make round parts on a vinyl work because it was very squarey. She took that task, and the suit looked great, and it was one of the first like Aquaman suits out there that I've seen. At least scale work.
That's the one that he shot.
Yeah, the one that Brian shot.
The very first one.
Yeah.
That was the very first one.
That was the very first one. Yeah, and other than that, the only other suit model Aquaman suit that I've seen, it was by King Tide Cosplay. Really good work, and then from there, from his version, I decided to do my new version of it. But yeah, that's the difficult one that she made.
That I did. I don't want to read about you.
Yeah, the one that I made, it will be version 3 actually of that Aquaman suit, because the scale work about 4,000 foam scales, attached, a little bit over 4,000. So that was a nightmare. She hated it. I had scales all over
Everywhere.
the living room.
It's like glitter, but scales.
But with foam scales, it was everywhere.
And this is the first version?
The second
version.
The all golden one, right?
Yeah, the
Oh,
super goldy.
Yeah, super goldy, super buff one, extremely muscly.
The one at JacketCon I shot?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, the one from DragonCon, which now there's a version 3 that is coming soon. So that's gonna be awesome. Never ending process.
Dead bodies around the house, just these dead Aquaman. Like it's like he like shed.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it is, really. Honestly, it's people who think that you're not allowed to cosplay that character because they cosplay it. I think that's a huge pet peeve. You should be able to express your love and desire to, be that character. I shouldn't have to be like, oh, I'm the only Ahsoka and no one else can do it. That's just not fair. And I think when people are like bad-mouthing other cosplayers, like, if they have what they have, that's what they have. Like, who cares if it's a Party City item or if it's, something that you handcrafted. As long as we're, enjoying the process and having fun together, it shouldn't really matter how much you put into your cosplay. That's just me personally.
Yeah, a little bit of piggybacking on what you said. Is that pretty much is one of the things. Definitely, you see a lot of toxicity out there, as in, oh no, look, I am the only Aquaman, meh, or oh, look at me, I am the Batman. It's like, bro, seriously, there's so many people out there like that does good costuming, and like for example, I look up like one of my favorite icons, like I said, it's King Tai Cosplay, amazing guy, and I look up, I think his builds are fantastic. And I'm not over here saying, oh no, I'm the only one. No, that's dumb. But other than that, another pet peeve for me that I see a lot is just creepy people. There's a lot of like creepos that good example. If you want to be Joker, cool. You want to get into character for a little bit. Cool, but that doesn't give you the right to be like an absolute
maniac,
like the Guardians would say, a-hole to everybody. Same as Deadpool's and just different other characters out there. You want to get in character for a little bit? Cool, fine, do it for a little bit, but don't do it constantly throughout the whole day harassing people. That is like absolutely a thing that I hate, and I will, if you come to me like that, I will tell you something. And you're not gonna like it.
Oh, yes. My very first armor outfit, Jane, Foster, so her Thor version, I wore that to DragonCon. And that helmet was so tight to my head, I forgot to give allowance for my wig that I was wearing underneath because she has blonde hair. I do not. And every like 30 minutes, I had to take it off because I just could hear my own like throbbing in my head. It was so bad. And then also footwear. I think any armor with footwear, you're always gonna have some like soreness or tender. I had like little bruises on it the next day, and DragonCon, if anything, you go the whole time. So I powered through it, took some Advil.
It was your first time wearing armor.
It was.
Oh, just wait for what's coming.
I know.
Probably right now the most difficult one will be Rex. We just shot today. Definitely, it's a very tight costume. I grew because I've been working on a lot as of lately, and all the pieces that I measured originally when I was printing, it was for about 4 weeks ago, and obviously now I grew a little bit, but it's very tight and very uncomfortable, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But I would say that so far has been the most uncomfortable costume as of yet. Yeah.
So
she likes some of this story, so I'm gonna let.
So Spooky Empire 2017 October. It was the weekend before Halloween. or it was that weekend of Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, horror convention, totally up my alley. I was dressed as Greta from the Gremlins, and I was just walking around the showroom, dealer's room, I'm sorry, and I saw this Predator across the way. I was like, yeah, because I love Predator. But what really attracted me was his, he had a bandolier that were real animal skulls, and because of like my job field, I freaked out. So there's a photo of me in mid-action, just like grabbing and like freaking out over his thing. And obviously he's fully masked, so I don't even know what he looks like. I was like, oh, that's really cool, blah, blah, blah. And took a photo, went our separate ways. Speeding through into the convention, I see him unmasked by our... You were shooting with Brian, yes, full circle. And our mutual friend, Eric, who does Professor Snape, was there. So I said hi to him, and he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I talked to him for a minute, and I had the most embarrassing moment. I asked to add him on Facebook, and we had already been friends on Facebook. And I didn't know that for a couple months. So yeah, that was really, really funny. To come to find out, but that's kind of like how our love story kind of started, just that moment.
Mm-hmm. And I'm somehow involved.
Yes, and you're involved from the beginning to the end.
Okay.
Just
go for it.
Go for it. Straight up, you have a favorite character, you resemble a character, or people, most likely people will tell you, oh, you look like this person, you should do costume for whatever movie, or if you like a movie, you like a character, just go for it. I mean, don't be shy, reach out to people.
Absolutely.
There's people out there that are always glad to help. There's some people that are probably never gonna reply to you, never gonna respond. Don't be discouraged. Just reach out to people. You wanna cosplay Spider-Man or whatever, reach out to Spider-Man. Hey, where you got your suit? Or you wanna do Batman? Hey, where you got your Batman? Or you don't wanna reach out to people, want to do your own research. It's all out there. The community is really big. The information is out there. Just go for it. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Ask questions and just go for it. It doesn't matter if you are in a budget. Or just do research, go with foam. Want to build something, go on foam. That is the cheapest, most cost effective. Actually, and don't be discouraged if it doesn't look good at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Because like I mentioned, my first cosplay was it looked terrible, but I thought it was awesome back then. Yeah. And then you, little by little, are gonna be evolving, learning new skills. Like, she's teaching me how to sew, I'm teaching her to do 3D prop make in general, foam, 3D printing and stuff like that. Talk with friends, meet people, they're gonna teach you, ask. It's a big world out there, cosplaying wise, the community is big.
Even starting with like cosplay. Wow, that's a tongue tire. You know, like my very first one was Tomb Raider. Black shirt, black shorts. I used electrical tape to make those like holsters. Bad idea, don't do it. It's like getting waxed. And you know, I just did my hair in a braid, and you know, so many people stopped me and took photos, and you know, I look back at it and I'm like, wow, what was I thinking? But it's worth it. So many people love just being embodied by that character, and so just do it. It's so much fun. It's worth it.
Do it.
Friends. The friends that you make through it. You know, whether it's a photographer, whether it's, you know, just a fellow cosplayer, another fellow Soka, or, you know, you just make so many friends, and that hype, I think that's what we're missing in 2020, is that social gathering and that hype for showing off what you've built and made and just loving everything together, you know. I've made the most amazing friends through cosplaying, honestly. Like, they're my sisters and brothers. I would die for them, honestly. So it's so good. That's my favorite thing about it.
Yeah, just like you say, it's a very fun and awesome feeling when you click with somebody, as in you're walking to a convention and somebody looks at your costume, oh my god, that is awesome, and then you go and you start talking to this person, and then by the end of the night, you guys are drinking or eating, and you know, exchanging numbers, information, and down the road, 2 weeks later, you guys are really good friends. So I mean, that is a really awesome feeling. That's something like we miss in 2020, just going, seeing our friends, meeting new people. So definitely that's one of my favorite parts about cosplaying, just meeting people. Dragon Con. Yeah. I would say definitely Dragon Con.
Was I the one that convinced you to go to Dragon Con?
No.
The first one?
Well, my first Dragon Con. I don't know when it was.
I remember you said you'd never been, and I was like,
Yeah, I've never been. Yeah, you told me about it, and then
have a little juju going.
and then everybody else kept telling, yeah, you should go to Dragon Con. And then, I mean, I used to love like local conventions. I thought it was like MegaCon. I thought it was big. Oof. And I went to Dragon Con for the first time, and I was mind blown. There is no convention that I've been so far that can compare to Dragon Con. Dragon Con nowadays is our yearly vacation, our annual vacation, and we go all out. And it's just, and it's not only the costuming, the partying. It's just, well, the partying is great as well. But that's when I transform. I'm a completely different person there.
Oh, I learned that. The first year together, I learned that. That was an interesting one. So my very first Dragon Con, I was like, oh, when does it end? Wow, did I not know that it has no end time. It's just Thursday to Monday. Yeah. Now it's Wednesday to Monday because it just keeps getting longer and longer. But man, there is no way to describe Dragon Con. No matter how much we can sit here and tell you, it's just like a party fest. It's like just nerdy love and all these people that you meet. Like we've gotten photobombed by celebrities just walking by behind us.
It's ridiculous.
I've gotten like a kiss from George Perez, like, what? Like, I was mind blown. Because he just walks around the convention. It's not like you had to meet him at a booth, which I love when they do that. Like, Dragon Con's the best. Do it.
Wow.
Jeez.
There is so many. I'm just gonna go with the one from the previous year. It was the first Dragon Con that she actually get to enjoy as in full-on party mode.
The full understanding of Dragon Con.
Because I'm not really a very quiet, introverted person. When I go to Dragon Con, I go all out. I'm a completely different person. I'm a monster. And she and I make her party, and we were party with a group of friends from Virginia, drinking, all fun, and we went and got 3 a.m. hot dogs, which is our staple. Go at 3 a.m. outside of the not the Hyatt.
Is it the one for the CVS, the hot dog stand right there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So with 3 a.m. in line to get our hot dogs, we eat our hot dogs, and then everybody else was leaving, and that's the first time that she went to a rave. I'm like, babe, let's go to a rave. 4 in the morning, we were like very tipsy, very late party, so we were dancing, whatever, and you see people with their glow sticks and all that, and then she was just like staring in awe, like, this is cool, and I'm just looking at her.
I swear. I was in so, cause like this one female performer, she was doing like all this really cool things, and like I was just like, wow, like that would be great if I could do that, but man, I was just enjoying it. But I was sitting on the floor and like just staring in awe. Honestly, wow.
The parade.
That's a great experience.
The parade. If you go to Dragon Con once, you need to do at least a parade once. Be on the parade. You can go watch it, but being on the parade is completely different. It's it's a lot of euphoria that comes into your body. You're walking around with a group, and then just people cheering and screaming. You see all the nerds. So not even nerds, like,
and it's known. It's like everyone comes out. It's not even like the nerd community, like locals. They are like pumped for this, and it's so cool just to share that, love. Like really, you just feel the embodiment of love with everyone in the pump. Yeah. So.
Oh man, there's so many people. There's so many people. Definitely are a very close group of friends. Everybody. I guess I'm just going by their Instagram.
Yeah, go shout them out.
Yeah. Kaylee VF, Superman of Central Florida, Sagatak Cosplay,
Text Mask.
Text Mask. Text Mask or it's just Text Mask. Yeah. Mark Night Rises. There are very close group of friends. Definitely, they help a lot. There's a lot of inspiration that comes from them. We have also our Dragon Con crew. There's so many to mention, but definitely they're all an inspiration because they're such good makers, seamstress, and just cosplays in general. And definitely I want to give them a shout out.
I will give Jedi Mandy a shout out because every time I've messaged her about Ahsoka or anything like that, she has been extremely helpful, and she's one of those that everyone looks to because she's known as the Ahsoka, and she still even had the time to just answer some of my questions. So I absolutely say thank you so much for that because you've made everything possible for me to embody this character, as well as Hannah in Wonderland overseas. When I was doing my Mara, she was just a doll. She would definitely answer any questions that I had about fabric and stuff like that. So shout out to her too, because you made that happen as well.
And that's it, you're good.
Cool.
There you go.
Yay.
You're done.
High five.
We did it.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.